The wallpaper flop that protects everything. A 1950s interior design failure became the leading packaging material worldwide since 1960. This complete transformation of what began as a misguided attempt to revolutionize home decoration into the backbone of global shipping infrastructure demonstrates how spectacular failures can become essential innovations. The story starts in post-war America, where two engineers believed they could change how people decorated their living spaces forever, only to discover that their greatest success would come from their most spectacular failure. Post-war America buzzed with optimism and hunger for innovation as families sought to express their newfound prosperity through bold home design choices. The rigid, standardized styles of wartime had given way to experimental approaches that emphasized creativity and personal expression. Homeowners eagerly embraced new materials and techniques that promised to transform their living spaces into showcases of modern American success. This cultural shift created enormous opportunities for entrepreneurs who could deliver revolutionary design solutions to eager consumers. Alfred and Marc Chavon recognized this hunger for innovation as the perfect opportunity to establish themselves as pioneers in the home decoration industry. The two engineers had spent years studying plastic manufacturing techniques, believing that synthetic materials represented the future of interior design. They envisioned a world where homeowners could choose from an endless variety of textured plastic wallpapers that would make traditional paper coverings seem outdated and boring. Their ambitious 1957 plan centered on creating textured plastic wallpaper that would completely replace traditional designs throughout American homes. And Chavon believed that plastic offered advantages that paper could never match, including resistance to moisture, durability against wear, and the potential for three-dimensional textures that would add visual depth to any room. They envisioned manufacturing wallpaper with raised patterns, interesting textures, and innovative designs that would revolutionize how Americans thought about wall decoration. The engineers invested their savings into designing and building a custom machine specifically engineered to produce their revolutionary wall coverings. This specialized equipment represented their complete commitment to disrupting the home decor market through technological innovation. And Chavon spent months perfecting their manufacturing process, confident that their machine would produce plastic wallpaper that would capture the imagination of interior designers and homeowners across the country. However, their custom-built machine consistently produced plastic sheets filled with unwanted air bubbles, completely ruining their wallpaper dreams. The manufacturing process trapped air between layers of plastic, creating a bubble-filled material that bore no resemblance to the smooth, textured wallpaper they had envisioned. Each production run yielded the same disappointing results, with air pockets making the plastic completely unsuitable for wall application. The bubbles created an uneven surface that would never adhere properly to walls or provide the elegant appearance that wallpaper required. And Chavon faced the devastating realization that months of planning and investment had produced a manufacturing system that couldn't create their intended product. The air bubbles that ruined their wallpaper represented a fundamental flaw in their production process that seemed impossible to eliminate. Despite numerous adjustments to their machinery and manufacturing techniques, the engineers couldn't prevent air from becoming trapped in their plastic sheets during production. Desperate to salvage their investment, the engineers attempted to market their failed wallpaper anyway, meeting rejection after rejection from interior designers who couldn't understand the appeal of bubble-filled plastic for home decoration. Design professionals examined the unusual material with confusion, unable to envision how air-filled plastic could enhance residential aesthetics. The bubbles made the material impossible to install smoothly against walls, while the texture appeared unprofessional and unappealing compared to traditional wallpaper options. The engineers pivoted to promoting their bubble-filled plastic as greenhouse insulation, believing that the air pockets might provide thermal protection for agricultural applications. This new direction seemed logical, as greenhouses required insulation materials that could maintain temperature while allowing light transmission. Fielding and Chavon marketed their product to agricultural suppliers, emphasizing the potential energy savings that their innovative insulation could provide to greenhouse operators. However, testing revealed that their bubble-filled plastic provided virtually no thermal protection, making it useless as greenhouse insulation. The air pockets that had ruined their wallpaper dreams proved equally ineffective at preventing heat transfer in agricultural settings. This second failure demonstrated that their accidental creation lacked the properties needed for both decorative and practical applications they had considered. The engineers systematically tested over 400 different applications for their bubble-filled plastic material, each failure bringing them closer to bankruptcy. Fielding and Chavon refused to accept defeat, methodically exploring every possible use for their unique creation. They tested applications in construction, agriculture, automotive, and dozens of other industries, seeking any market that might value their bubble-filled sheets. The extensive testing process consumed their remaining resources while yielding no profitable applications for their bubble-filled plastic. Each potential market proved unsuitable for their material, as the air bubbles that defined their product provided no useful properties for conventional applications. The engineers watched their savings disappear as they pursued increasingly desperate attempts to find commercial viability for their manufacturing accident. IBM's computer shipping problems in 1960 provided the breakthrough moment when the engineers realized that their accidental air-cushioned material offered perfect protection for delicate electronic equipment during transportation. The computer manufacturer needed packaging solutions that could protect sensitive components from shipping damage while remaining lightweight and cost-effective. Fielding and Chavon recognized that their bubble-filled plastic provided exactly the cushioning properties that IBM required. The alignment between IBM's shipping needs and their accidental creation transformed the engineers' failed wallpaper experiment into an essential component of the emerging technology industry. Their bubble-filled plastic offered superior protection compared to traditional packaging materials while maintaining the flexibility needed for wrapping irregularly shaped electronic components. This discovery marked the beginning of bubble wrap's dominance in protective packaging applications. A wallpaper designed to beautify homes accidentally became essential to global commerce, proving that the most valuable innovations often emerge from the most spectacular failures.